Hey guys, it's Ernesto, and welcome back to yet another show. I believe this is episode number 3 of Talking Business. So today we're going to be talking about, how to get started in event photography, and our special guest is going to be Ken Branson, and I'm going to introduce you in a moment. So what I wanted to do really quick is just give you guys some quick programming update, and I'm also going to show you Ken's website, so you guys could be aware of who you're about to hear from. So hang on one second. Hey Ken, you have the feed going? I can hear it in my ear. That's okay. It's nice to listen to myself, but sometimes it's a little bit annoying. So, all right. So just really quickly, guys. So the way this show is designed, or the way that I designed it, is basically what I'm going to try to do is just interview Ken really quickly, just to get a little bit of his background, and then we're going to get straight into he giving us tips on how to get involved in event photography. And I'm gonna, dive into a little bit more details on the topics that come up, and ask him a couple of questions. Now, this show is live and is interactive, and I designed it that way because I really want you guys to, provide feedback, ask questions that I may miss. So it's very helpful that you guys would just go into the comments and drop your questions, and Ken or I would address your questions. So please do that. It doesn't matter when you ask the questions. You can ask the questions at any time during the show. You can ask it at the beginning, and what I will do is I will scroll back into all the comments, and I will look for all those questions, and I will address it. What will help me, guys, is if you just put the word question in front of your question, so that when I'm scrolling through it, I know exactly, it's a question that I need to look at. So, all right, so that's it. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that next week, let me make sure that I have this right here. Bring this up. I thought I had it on my calendar. Let me bring it up here on my calendar really quick. Okay, so next week, which is the 9th of January, we're going to have Antoine Jones on as well. Antoine Jones is going to be talking about marketing. So if you guys want to figure out how to market your business, definitely stay tuned and join us live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear all about that. Antoine Jones is an amazing photographer out in Atlanta. He was out in Fayetteville, so stay tuned for that. The following week, which is the 16th, I will be off. Actually, I will be in New York, so there will be no show then. But on the 23rd, we're also going to have a wedding photographer who's based out in North Carolina here, and he's going to be talking. I forget the topic that he's going to be talking about. But stay tuned, and you get a lot of information from that show. So, and then lastly, we're going to have on the 30th, we're going to have Chad Pennington. He's going to be on talking about album sales. So if you're really interested in how to shoot for albums, how to sell your albums and all that good stuff, stay tuned to that show, and he's going to have some amazing information for you. If you guys have a guest that you would like me to talk to, please reach out to them, make them aware of the show, give them links to the show so that we could, so I could interview them and you guys could get answers to questions that you were dying to hear all about. So right now in February, I haven't really booked anyone in February. So if you know anyone, please reach out to them and let them know about the show. So, and tell them, if they could reach out to me so we could get this going. All right. So with that said, let me switch over here to my desktop really quickly, and I'll show you Ken's website, and then we'll jump straight into this interview. So let me show my desktop here. So this is Ken's website. He is the owner of Mastermind Productions. So his website is thepicturestation.com. And he will do it more justice by explaining his entire business than I would try to butcher it. So I'm going to bring up his levels here, and then I'm going to introduce Ken. into the mix. So here is Ken. So Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us the quick elevator pitch of who you are, where we could find you and all that good stuff.
Oh man, first of all, I definitely appreciate the opportunity, man, to be on board. I never thought I would be the interviewee. So it comes with a bit of anxiety, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Ken Branson here. We started off in 2007 doing video broadcasting in my church. And then 2009, 2010, we picked up sports action photography. And we filmed our first wedding. I got 3 youngins. I love them to death. Jaden, Mackenzie, and Kinsley. I'm full time in the business, man. Forever grateful for all the support I've received throughout, from clients, man, other vendors, you name it, man. Just support for the last 10 years in 1 month, right? We're going into the 11th year of business, man. So we're definitely excited about that. So I love event photography, and I can't wait to talk more about it, man. It's a passion. It's a thrill. It comes with a level of anxiety that continues to keep me pressing, man, and keep me sharp, keep me on my feet, on my toes, in order to give the people what they want. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell.
Wow, 11 years. That's a long time, man. That's a long time to test, do a lot of tests, failures up and down. I'm sure there's a lot of stories in there, which we will get into. But,
yes, sir.
You're a father, you're a businessman. I mean, like, how do you, juggle all that stuff with running a full-time business?
Brother, every day my feet hit the ground, man. It's by the grace of God, number one. I don't know how it all happens, how it all comes together, man. I guess just prioritizing what needs my attention right now. As selfish as it may sound, I just got to give whatever needs my attention at that moment, my attention, and it all seems to pan out.
Do you make like a plan, like when you get up on, today, this is what I'm going to do, X, Y, and Z? Do you plan it out, or just basically just evolve organically?
Man, I wish I was that organized, man. I need to be that organized, but honestly though, man, it just happens. Man, I wish I had some rhyme or reason to it as to how it all come together, but I really don't.
Wow. Yeah, man. So what were you doing before, you got into photography? What were you doing before photography?
Before 2007, before we started doing the video broadcasting at my church, what was I doing in 07? Oh, I was investing in studying real estate, man, as an investor. I had bought into this real estate investment educational program. I had a coach teaching me how to bird dog, go find properties, flip the contract, and make money off the contract. And I started attending this real estate investment group in Winston-Salem, and I noticed something that was in common, that each one of those investors had in common, which was they couldn't find a reliable person to cut their grass, brother. I'm like, what you mean you can't find nobody to cut your grass, man? So literally, I went in about 2 or 3 weeks. I went from wearing a shirt and a tie to coming in there smelling like gasoline with work boots on and grass stains, because I was cutting all of these investors' properties, man, like making money hand over fist. It was just like 12 to 15 investors there, man, and at least 10 of them could not find somebody to cut some grass. So, brother, I put a push lawnmower in the back of my Lincoln Mark 8, man, and had a gas can, a weed eater, and a blower, bro. And I was out there grinding until the drought in 2007. I don't know if you remember it, but we had a drought in 2007 that kind of ended the grass cutting season, bro, and that was it.
So is that what basically got you pushed when that, kind of dried up, quote unquote dried up? Is that what got you pushed into, looking at photography as an outlet?
So that's a good question, man. And I wish one of my partners and colleagues was here to witness this, man. But I was at church one day, and my pastor was like, "Hey, I want you to come out to this seminar." Tony Davis, one of my mentors from I can't think his company name. Whatever. But he was coming to do some training at the church, man. And my pastor was like, "Yo, come through." I was like, "All right." So I came through. Learn a little bit about Adobe Premiere Pro, how to edit videos. And then, one of my ministry partners, I ain't gonna say her name, but she know exactly who she is. I hope she get to see this one day. She was like, man, you can't create no commercial in 7 days or 6 days. I was just so amped up, man. I'm like, I can do this. I can get a pack of tutorials, man. I can learn how to do this. She said, you can't do it. Needless to say, 7 days, 6 days later, I put up my first, what I would consider a commercial for the church, as a form of announcements, man. And that was the beginning of my career in December 2007.
Wow. Did you have any formal training like in videography or photography or anything like that, or you just picked it up?
Nah, brother, it was a pack of tutorials, total body training. I think that was the name of the tutorials that the church invested in. And I grabbed them tutorials, man, and learned how to edit, maneuver all these tools, and we made it do what it do.
Wow. So then you got into business 11 years ago. And when you got into business 11 years ago, like what was the primary focus that you decided that this business is going to go into?
So, like I said, I don't think too far in advance, which is one of my areas of opportunities. So at that time, I was like, we're gonna focus on helping churches get their video team up. My pastor released me to go do the thing and go acquire other churches to help them get their video ministry up to where it needed to be. Go do some training, yada yada yada. So then that was 2007. 2009, one of the members of the church, Corey and Terica Rollinson, came to me one day and like, yo, we need you to film our wedding, September 20th, 2009. And I was like, I'll give it a shot, but we'll see what comes of it. I did it. They liked it. That's all that mattered. And then let me see. Did I answer your question?
Well, I was just curious as if you had any formal training. It sounds like all you did was basically watch that tutorial.
That's it, brother. That's it.
And just basically jumped in the fire basically with both
That's
feet.
it. Yes, sir. And so then in 2009, 2010, something like that, I had another wedding to film. And I was like, man, I was known as a videographer then. These weddings they boring to me. I really don't like to do them. So I'm going to learn how to take stills and add them into the video to kind of enhance it, to give it some kind of look. And that was the beginning of the photography for me, probably about 2009.
Wow. So then when you got into photography, is that when you start taking a longer look at this event space?
So yeah. I started to excuse me for a second. I started to do sports action photography, and in the sports action photography, kind of sharpen my skill to be able to print on site. So we started doing AAU basketball games where we'll set up a printer, a projector screen, and a computer out in the lobby. We take sports action pictures during the game. At halftime and at the end of the game, we'll come out, upload on the projector screen. People stand around. They write the image number down. They give me money. I print them. Thank you. Have a good day. That was the beginning of event photography for me.
Wow. So as a when you get into that business, like how do you then start to attract clients? Like what did you do to start attracting clients?
So printing on site for AAU basketball kind of turned into other tournament directors coming to me like, hey man, we having a tournament on such and such day, can you come through? So of course we said yeah. We did more tournaments, and then people started asking us to come out and photograph instead of we going and asking to photograph. So one tournament turned into multiple tournaments, and then the tournament started turning into, hey, can you do this at a birthday party or something? Like, if you set up a backdrop, can you print and pitch, can you print pictures at a birthday party, yada, yada, yada. I was like, absolutely. At the time I'm like, I don't know nothing about nothing. But we're going to figure this thing out. So one event turned into multiple events, and then that afforded us the opportunity to go away from sports action photography because the events started to become a little bit more lucrative.
Okay.
I'm sorry, a whole lot more lucrative.
So as a person that's trying to get into event photography, right? Like, looking back on it now and looking at the space as it is today, like if someone was trying to get into that space today, what will be like your advice for that person to getting into that space today? And I guess let's just back up for 1 second. When we say event photography, I just want to make sure that we define, what we mean by event photography. Like, what does event photography mean for you?
To me, event photography is any type of non-wedding event. Birthday parties, bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs for the Jewish community, quinceañeras for the Latino and Hispanic community, class reunions, family reunions, baby showers, maybe not bridal showers, but church conferences, concerts, event. I don't. That's about it. That's how I can sum it up for you.
So all of those things that you just outlined, would all of those types of events, would you then show up with your backdrop for those types of events?
So of course, not every event, wants some on-site prints, but most of the time, people do want on-site prints if they're, the bottom line can handle how much it costs. So not every event, but, most events do like some sort of on-site prints to take an instant memory home, man. You know what I mean? To be able to capture a fraction of a second of any type of event and produce a studio quality, professional grade, lighting on point print right there on site is priceless, man.
Okay. So I'm going to get into, you showing us like, where you started, what you used, and where you are today and what you use. But I guess the question that I have for you is going back to the original question I was trying to ask, but I got sidetracked. So what would you advise, what would be your best advice for folks that's trying to get into the event space today, in this type of market, 2018 now? Like, what would be your advice for them? Like, what steps should they take?
If you woke up one day and was like, yo, I want to do event photography, I would just advise to start somewhere. Obviously, you can't come out the gate charging people $125 an hour to capture an event, and you don't know how to operate a camera. But I would start somewhere. Start with your family's family events. Show the love, man. When you capturing these moments at these special events, show a feel, try to evoke some type of emotion in these images that you're capturing. And that requires specific equipment. We'll cross that line when we get there. But if you're trying to tap in, don't worry about the equipment. Get what you got. Take what you have, the equipment that you have, and go out there and start creating memories. When you create those memories, now you got some type of leverage, right? You can put this leverage out there. This is what we can do. This is what I offer, and just kind of get a feel for it. Perfect it, right? Perfect it. I'm talking about, man, just learn what it takes to evoke some type of emotion out of these images, man. And I promise you'll never be broke.
Good advice. So take us back to, when you first got started in this event space, like, the tools that you were using. So show us that, and then we're going to get into the equipment and stuff like that.
Oh, man, let's go down memory lane. So this right here is one of my first printers. I'm sorry. Nope, it ain't that one. That ain't the first one. Here we go. This is the first one. Obviously, you see a baby here. So we set up doing some daycare photography, like on-site prints. No more waiting 2 or 3 weeks for prints to come back. This is one of my first printers. I'm gonna show you one of the second printers that we use, and then I'm gonna tell a short story on how I got started. All right. So this is a Canon MP, whatever. It's discontinued. They don't even sell it no more. This is another Canon. A lot of you might be like, why Canon? I started with a Canon video camera in 2007. I bought a Canon Rebel T2i when I started photography. So I was like, well, let's keep it in the family and get a Canon printer. There was no rhyme or reason to it. This is just what I selected because I started in the Canon family. So this is one of the second printers I use. It takes about a minute or so for an 8x10 print to come out. Very, very slow. But just because it was slow, did not mean I turned my head on quality. We still made sure the quality was right. Even in 2010, 2009, the quality had to be right. And I'm gonna put a pin right there because the basketball, right? The AAU basketball helped me to sharpen my eye. It helped me to capture those moments where they going up for a layup. It helped me to capture those moments where, crossovers or whatever, emotions from the crowd. If it was a huge play or something and the crowd went right, wow, I had to anticipate that. So what it did for me is it started to train my eye and anticipate where the action is going to be at. So I know I need to be ready because this is about to happen. It also challenged me to change my perspective while I'm shooting. A lot of people think that when you're shooting kids, right? These were kids, elementary school kids, that you're supposed to stand up and, everybody views that perspective regularly, right? We as adults are taller than kids. So we are used to every day we're used to seeing kids way down here. So when you see a photo of a kid way down here, it's like, all right, it doesn't do anything for me. It really doesn't make me want to spend $10 to buy this print. Like, there's nothing compelling. So now I had to get on the ground and I had to change my equipment a little bit to shoot in a little bit tighter to make the kids look way larger than what they were. All right. So that was how this basketball started to train my eye to get better at this whole event photography thing.
And it sounds like it also increased your sales as well.
Bruh, crazy, man. I mean, there are some of my colleagues right now who dope photographers, right? Like I'm talking about they shoot big boy league or whatever. But it's a lot of them, a great majority of them, since they are on that level, they will not do what it takes to risk all this time making these images and nobody buy them. And I think that's one thing that set me apart from a lot of them was I was willing to get out there for, 34 to 37 hours on a weekend and pretty much take all these pictures and only make $300. But I guarantee you that $300 in one weekend over time, don't get it twisted, turned into making $300 an hour for event printing on site. Real talk. That's facts.
Wow. So I guess since we're talking about money, right? So I'm going to divert here really
That's
quickly.
Fine.
So how do you price out your prints, and I guess, and what sizes do you sell on location? And lastly, the prints that you sell, and this is the one thing that really fascinated me when I saw you on site working, is that when you print these images out, if memory serve, you did no post-production at all. And you printed it out, you sell it, and you made money. And that's what's fascinating. I got to tell you, that is so fascinating to me because, literally sometimes folks will say, okay, I spent maybe a minute in post-production. I click a button and boom, I'm done. And then others would spend, an hour, 2 hours or so in post-production like myself, right? And it's this, go ahead, please answer the question. I'm just going on.
Now that's fine. It's a good question too, because my man Marco Castro is joining us live, man. He was like, printing on site requires immediate processing and color correction. Hopefully you can cover some of this. So since we're here, I'll just talk about it. I kind of disagree that it requires immediate processing and color correction. I was taught by the old school guys to get it right in the camera. Okay. So with that being said, the lighting has to be on point, right? The composition has to be on point. There is no cropping. There is no time for cropping, man. You got a whole long line of people. Let's go back to basketball. You got a whole line of people that's come out at halftime and at the end of the game, and they ready to go. So there is no time for post-production. Any post-processing or color correcting or anything, man. These images are straight out the camera, onto the computer, straight to the printer. So basketball did it for me, man. It helped me to sharpen my eye, to get the right images. It helped me to get the right equipment because I had to lower my f-stop, right? I had to get a shallower depth of field, and then I had to compose those images, man. I had to get them right in the air with the ball up, not covering their face, right? So all I can tell you, man, is you got to practice to get it right, or else people not gonna spend money with you.
Agreed. So sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. So I guess the other question I was asking, like, how do you, like, what sizes do you sell and how do you price it out?
Okay, so our signature series, one of our signature services is the red carpet photo station. We let me back up some more. So we kind of got away from selling prints on site because I really don't have time to sit there and take pictures and hope that we sell them, or I don't have the time to go to an event and, hopefully somebody would want to come stand on my red carpet or in my backdrop or whatever I got at the event and take a picture, right? So now we do a comprehensive package or all-inclusive package where we charge the client a premium fee. Right now, the red carpet photo station is $975 for 3 hours of unlimited prints. I'm talking 4x6s is what we do. Like, we keep boxes of 4x6s on deck, so that and that's pretty much what we print off at these events. Unlimited prints for those 3 hours.
Wow. That is a awesome business model for 3 hours.
3 hours.
So let's get it back into, I'm sure people may have like a lot of questions about the pricing and stuff like that. So just as a reminder, guys, if you do have a question, please put question in front of it and write your questions, and we'll definitely come to it as soon as I finish my interview process with Ken. We're gonna come to you guys and answer all your questions. So
flowing in too, brother.
Make sure you put them in there. So just going back to the equipment. So you were using those old Canon printers. So that's where you started. So tell us again, how you progressed from there.
So one day, my brother Kevin Seifert, I always mess his name up. He was at an event that we did for Sabrina Seymour, and it was actually a rebranding party, right? So Sabrina was like, "Hey, this is Kevin." He was like, "Kevin, this is Ken. Y'all need to meet." I was like, "All right, good deal." So I met Kevin, and I found out that Kevin he printed on site as well. So just as Kevin came up, one of my doggone printers ran out of ink. It had ran out of ink, man. So I had to open it up, and then when when you open that thing up, it had to take its time to move back and forth, and then you found the one, you had to do the inkjet thing.
Yep.
So after I did the inkjet thing, I put it back in there, and then it had to charge, right? So by this time I'm going through, Kevin's sitting right here in my ear, like, "Hey man, you might want to consider X, Y, and Z." And I'm like, man, like, I'm looking bad in front of my colleague. Like, this is what I do. The line getting longer, anxiety is building up, man. So needless to say, Kevin was like, "Man, you need a new printer, right? And this is the printer you need." That printer was a DMP brand, and it was a DS40 or a DS80, and I did not put the picture in here. My apologies. But I'm pretty sure we could probably put up in a link or something like that. But it's a DNP is the brand, and the model I have is a DS40 and also a DS80. The difference is on the DS40 prints 4x6s and 5x7s, and I think 6x8s as well. And a DS80 prints 8x10s and 8x12s, and 5x7s, all that other good jazz right there too. So that was the start. Oh, let me back up a little bit more and tell you that when I bought that printer, it was $1,200, and it prints 4x6 images in 7 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that must increase your productivity.
Man, I'm telling you, knocking them out. Right before, I had to have, like, when we were using some of these, when we was using some of the inkjet printers, I had to have somebody stand right here and collect the images, because it took 45 seconds to print one 4x6, and they had to collect the images and give them out. So I had to get away from it, man. And when I was able to do an event and pay for that printer outright, that's when the game really started for me.
Wow. My wife cousin, they do like a party or an event like every year, and they basically asked me to come down to do the quote unquote event photography, which is basically they had their own backdrop. All I did was bring the lights and my camera. And then my wife cousin, he had a printer. It wasn't really a printer. It's like a small little printer. But the point that I'm making here is that it took so long to print that when we had so much people backing up on this line, people were just being like, you know what, forget it. You know,
Exactly.
and just started walking off.
Exactly.
But I totally get you. So that's the printers. So as far as lighting is concerned, like what do you use for lighting the events? Like if you're shooting one person, 5 people, like how do you light these folks out there?
Oh man, that's a super good question. So here's a typical lighting setup for us. A lot of people love to see setup shots. I love to see setup shots myself. So we have a main light, which we use a white lightning 400 or 800, one of those, I forgot. And of course, we change the modifier for different situations. And I also bring LED lights because the model light is not bright enough. I can't believe I'm giving away these trade secrets, right? This is top secret, man. Like, but we bring out LED lights, which I also use for video, to illuminate the photo station to make it stand out wherever we may be. Go ahead.
That's a cool tip.
Yeah, man, you got to stand out, man. Like, we got to give the people the Hollywood experience, man. They pay a lot of money for this photo station, so we want them to feel like Hollywood paparazzi style when, you know what I mean, when they step on the red carpet.
Yeah.
And also, if you look very closely on the background, we have 2 speed lights that gives us a rim light or some hair lighting or, I mean, whatever you want to call it. It gives us some separation away from the backdrop. This separates the novices or the amateurs from the professionals, in my opinion, right? It's totally my opinion. Don't get mad at me. But even when I cannot set up my background lights or a light behind the subject, I'll be like, this is, subpar work. It's not my best. So this is a typical lighting setup for me right here.
So it's a 5 light setup, basically.
Yeah. But as you know, the LEDs have no effect on the photo itself.
Okay. So for the subject is basically 3 lights, and then the LEDs is just to basically make sure that you have a presence at that location.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then I noticed that you have some monitors and stuff that you brought in that setup shot. That's also part of your typical setup so that the person could see their images as opposed to looking at the back of your camera. So I guess you shoot tethered, right?
Yes, sir. I shoot tethered to the software. And of course, we do a dual monitor setup or extended monitor setup so the client is able to see exactly what they look like real time.
Awesome. Now, the backdrops itself and the red carpet and all that good stuff, is that supplied by the client, or when they pay you, basically depending on the event, you do a custom printout of the backdrop? Like, how does that work out?
Yes, sir. Every event has its own backdrop. It's a custom backdrop. We make the backdrop, we get it printed. They supply us with whatever logos they want on it. And we make it happen. We bring it with us, and we set it up. The red carpet is mine as well. I think I spent about $200 to $300 on it. And I've had it, and it's time to replace it. It still looks good in photos, but it doesn't look good to the naked eye sometimes. So we just got to upgrade that a little bit.
True. But the backdrop is all part of the price. So if I come to you and I say, hey, Ken, I want you to do, Ernesto Su photography, opening, and you charge me the price of the 3 hours. I give you my logo and you print out a backdrop for me. Is that how it
Absolutely.
works?
Yep. Everything is included, man. The backdrop is included. And also it's the clients to keep. You can keep it because like I said, I can't use it again. This particular backdrop right here is Lorraine Dorner Foundation down in Charlotte. I can't use this for Jackie's 60th birthday birthday bash.
Makes sense. So do you use a vendor for this, or what vendor do you use for print out the backdrops?
Yeah, so there are several, man. There are several different types of online printing companies that you could find. I got a good relationship with one, signartetcetera.com. They don't pay me to give any daggone shout outs or whatever, but I stick by them. They don't give me any discounts either, believe it or not. It's me. I mean, I spend thousands of dollars with this company, man. They don't give me no discounts, but I stick by them because their material is what I need. It comes right every single time in a protected tube. Maybe once, twice, three times out of 3 or 4 years, it was damaged by UPS or whatever. But I mean, you can find your own print company and develop a relationship with them. It's even some local here too as well.
That's what's up. So is that it? Is that all the equipment that, I mean, obviously your camera, but that's all, that's a given. But is there any other equipment that you use for the photo station setup?
Any other equipment, the camera, the computer, lights, um, monitor, software.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So uh so here's what's the crazy part about it is my I'm kind of embarrassed, but one of my battery's about to die. I need to replace my battery, dude.
Where on your camera?
On my main cam, yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Give me like 30 seconds.
That's okay. I'm gonna do an intermission here really quick. So
All
you
right,
go
and
ahead.
then we'll come back and talk about the what piece.
So basically your software that you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah. I think the people would definitely love the software piece.
Yeah. All right. So, but just put yourself on mute for a second, and I'll
Okay.
talk to the people here.
All right.
All right, guys. So while Ken is getting his battery adjusted for his camera, I probably will have the same thing in a few as well. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this show is sponsored by me. So I'm going to plug something that I wanted to plug, which is on February 28th. We're going to be, when I say we, myself and Photo Me Ike is going to be in Las Vegas on I said February 28th. I meant February 27th. We'll be having a photo walk and a photo shoot out in Las Vegas. If you guys are going to WPPI, it would be great to meet up with you guys there if you're there. If you're not there, I said this before in the promo video, it's really, really cheap to basically get a ticket to fly out to Las Vegas for just that one day, and you could come out and check out the photo walk and photo shoot. I'll put the link, I didn't put it here, but I'll put the link in there to the, if Photo Ike is in the comments, maybe you could drop the link in there. But yeah, so we're going to be there. If you can, come out and join us because it would be awesome. We're going to have a model there. We're going to be covering posing. We're going to be covering lighting. We're going to be covering composition. We're also going to be talking about how you can use your gear more effectively. So come out and join us. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be from 1:30 to 5 p.m. And then after that, we basically will be doing like a dinner, sit down, and you can still ask us more questions if you wanted to. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's my first time attending WPPI, so I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys there. All right. So Ken looked like he's back in business, so we're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
talk software.
Software it is, man. So the software that I use for event photography is it's called Darkroom. Darkroom Core is the one. Darkroom has a photo booth version, and they also have a core version, which I use. Is good for event photography, and they also have a pro version, which is over $1,000, which I really don't need, but a lot of people use it for school photography. So what happens is this software allows me to shoot tethered to it, and it also gives me a dual monitor action so that I can have just a single image itself, not mirror what I'm looking at, but I can show just the image itself to the whoever's standing on the red carpet. Literally, I hit two buttons, one to pull up a dialogue screen, and the second button is to tell the printer how many prints to print. Literally. So I can literally stand there and shoot pictures all night long, and I don't need an assistant. The darkroom software is about $500. Darkroom Core is what I use. It's $500. It probably went down since I bought my licenses or whatever, but I don't know. I shoot tethered USB, like I got like a 15-foot USB cable, and I made sure it don't wiggle, so I secure it in there with some gaff tape. Take the cable, wrap it around the bottom of the camera, and secure it so it doesn't wiggle, and it because it'll damage the USB port. Shoot tethered, print. Give them their prints. I got a little assembly line, right? You start the line on this side of the red carpet, take your picture, come around on this side to the printer, give your print, and we'll see you. Some people come back several times for the night, or we'll see them at the next event.
That's what's up. So now that we get all like the equipment, the software out of the way, so let's just jump into client acquisition. I know we touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but I just want to get into a little bit more deeper dive with it now. So like for you today, like how do you acquire your clients? Like, is there like I guess the question I'm trying to frame up here is it your network that really gets you clientele, or is it the hustle? Which one, or is it both?
It's both, my friend. And I'm always go back to AAU basketball when we were there photographing. It just blew some of these people's mind. I'm not the only person that was doing sports action photography, but the quality, and getting prints out right then, instantaneously, kind of piqued their interest. So what happened was like I said, I got invited to other tournaments. Those tournaments, people started to see it, and other people was like, I got a birthday, can you do this? I got family reunion, can you do this? And what happened was the client base, or the people who knew of what we did, it started to grow very, 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 very wide, right? And it grew so wide that other requests came down, or up, however you want to look at it. Other requests came down through those clients from basketball. So that's how it all started, man. And 10 years ago, well, maybe not quite 10 years, but about 2009, 2010, so 6 or 7 years ago, that's when I started to build a base that was very wide, and it just continues to recycle itself, man. People from corporate events, they see me and they like, oh my God, we're having a corporate party, we need you there. People from other events see me and they like, we need you at A&T, we need you at Duke, we need you at UNC, we need you at AARP. That's how the clients come. I don't do any marketing, man. Like, thanks be unto God. It ain't me in and of myself. But it's no marketing. I've done a couple bridal shows, never booked anybody from the bridal shows. Matter of fact, I think I first ran into you at one.
Yeah. That's where I was going. My question, like, do you attend like these industry events to help you, gain, clientele and stuff like that?
No, I don't attend them, but I'm not against them. I don't want to send the wrong message. I'm not against these organizations and associations, because that's the network, right? I'm in Southern Noir Wedding Pros. I'm in the Coterie with Mona Lucci, which I think my membership's kind of coming to an end right now. But I associate with some of the goons of the industry, man. Some of the top wedding planners and event planners, man. And they see what we have to offer. They push it out to their clients. That's it, man.
The Goon Squad, right? That's
what Goon Squad.
Yeah, I love that term. I mean, it's definitely good to have a good base, that can help support you and push you along. And, when you're feeling down, at least you could talk to somebody and bounce some ideas off of them. So I think that's very, very good to have.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to, well, let's see here. Did I not cover, did I not ask you well, let me ask you this. Besides event photography, like, what other things do you do in your business to help, diversify and make sure that you're not like you're dependent on one source of income, because, stuff like that is good to diversify. So what else do you do in the realm of photography or outside of photography to help keep the lights on?
Yeah, so I still do school photography. I failed to mention this. From 2013 and 2015, I was a school photographer for Strawberry Studios, located here in Durham. So after I resigned in 2015, you had to wait some time before you can start it. But I been doing daycare photography. It's a non-compete because Strawberries doesn't do daycare photography. So still do daycare photography. It's very, 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 very hard work, man. But I tell you what, the pay is great, and the parents love to bring their kids to school that morning and leave with their kid with a package prints. So we do daycare photography. We do weddings. We do wedding films. Wedding films is my thing. I love to retail a cinematic wedding. We still do wedding photography as well. It's not something we advertise. But like I said, we bring on some of the goons. If it require 2 photographers, we pay top dollar for second shooters or lead shooters. And if it require 2 filmmakers, we pay top dollar for a second shooter. Of course, I'm the lead filmmaker on the wedding projects. But even there, we still provide the red carpet photo station at the reception as well as an add-on, sometimes complimentary. So daycare photography, school photography. I have a few schools that I do. Let me see. I do a little bit of portraiture that I don't advertise for. Portraiture doesn't tickle my fancy, but the clients who book us for portraiture, they like what we offer, and they rock with us a little bit. Other than that, man, it's mainly events.
What about these live streams?
Oh man, so these live streams, man, that y'all been seeing lately is kind of like a thorn in my flesh, dude. I promise you, we're gonna keep going until we perfect it and get it right. I would consider it still in the beta testing phase, or however you want to term it, because there's still some kinks in the software that tech support will not help me out with. Clearly, it's software glitches. But when you cannot reproduce it, it's a whole nother ball game. But we do some live streaming as well. We help people go live, and we give them this type of quality that you're seeing right here. We shoot with DSLRs. We invested a nice little pretty penny to make people broadcast look better than what they can produce on their cell phone and their tablets. It's taken off.
Awesome. So I'm coming around to my last few questions here, and I just wanted to remind you, everyone that's watching, please drop your questions in the comments. I know a lot of people already dropped a lot of questions, but drop your questions in there. Put a question mark or question, the word question or question mark in front of your question, so I know it's a question, and we'll go through it. So Ken, as far as the event space, do you think this space is lacking? Like, I don't hear a lot of photographers talk about being an event photographer that basically bring their own backdrops and stuff like that. Like, I'm trying to understand if there's like if they feel like the market is covered by these automated photo stations, or why is it that we don't hear a lot of people talking about event photography with respect to what you do?
So yes, the market is highly saturated with the automated photo booths, the traditional photo booths. I don't throw shade, right? That's why I attribute a lot of my success to not throwing shade, because it depends. Excuse me. It depends on what the client wants, right? So a client may want an automated photo booth. I remember I had a Jewish client who wanted, excuse me, the boy. It was a bar mitzvah. It was a bar mitzvah. Okay. So the boy didn't want a live photographer there taking pictures. So I had to buy the daggone automated darkroom photo booth software so I can give them what they wanted. So it depends on the client what they want. Yes, there are a lot of traditional photo booth companies popping up. Yes, you can get a traditional photo booth for way less expensive than you can get a red carpet photo station or a green screen photo station that we offer. Absolutely. Is it competition? To me, it's not competition because we offer 2 different products. It's 2 different products. I don't get mad. Matter of fact, I have 1 or 2 colleagues that I refer photo booth business to. So no, it's not competition for me, man. I specialize in giving the people what they want. And if it's a referral, then it's that.
Awesome. So my takeaway question that I like to leave folks with, or at least my guests, leave the viewers with, is one of the things that I really enjoy about Ken when I catch his live streams is that Ken be dropping these nuggets. Dropping some wisdom on his live stream. He sees something and he gets inspired by it, and he basically goes off on a riff on it. So I wanted Ken, to leave us with some, positive words of wisdom. And, and then after that, we'll jump into your questions, guys. So Ken, not to put you on the spot or anything, but
Yeah, man. Man, Ken Strawbridge at Strawbridge Studio. He's the president and CEO of Strawbridge, and I know I'm probably jack this up, but he has three rules or three thought processes or schools of thought that he uses to the tune of treat everybody like you want to be treated. They're going to do your best. And it's one more. I told you I'd probably jack it up. But, man, all I can really say is, man, just you got to do right by people, man. I attribute a whole lot of my success to sowing seeds. Man, I give so much. Even when I don't have it to give, I'm still giving so much because I know that the reward that's coming back is so much greater than, whatever I'm giving. So I give in the form of labor. I do some events that, they don't pay me. They just cover the supplies. And I even sell pictures on site and all the money go back to the cause. All the proceeds go back, man. I just ask that you cover my, now, hold on. Don't be hitting me up like, yo, I got this cause. I need you. Nah, cause it don't work like that. I got to feel it in my heart before I give, cause I don't want to give, like the Bible says, grudgingly or out of necessity. So I like to sow seeds when I'm led to sow seeds, and it always come back to me, man. Also, take care of the other vendors, man. The people that's in the network, the wedding planners, event planners, the DJs, you name it, man. Anybody who serves beside me, anybody who gets paid to capture an event or to put on an event or whatever you do, you got to take good care of them, man, because they are referral source, right? I had a DJ. I ain't never worked with him. DJ Free, shout out, my friend. Somebody came to him like, I need a photographer and a filmmaker. And come to find out, this guy was a former NFL pro player, man, for the Buffalo Bills, right? We filmed their wedding. They loved it. It came from, I never worked with DJ Free, man. He just was like, yo, old boy doing this over here. Go reach out to him. But he saw, since I ain't never worked with him, he saw who I was working with. And I believe he believed in his heart that he can put his name on me. That's why he sent out a referral. So take care of the people around you, man. And also sow seeds. It'll come back to you 100-fold. I'm off my soapbox. That's all I got for you.
No, I think that's good advice, actually. Networking with other vendors really also helps you with the referral game,
Yes.
So I'm going to jump in here to these questions.
Okay.
And let's see. Hopefully there's a whole bunch of questions here, but let's see here. So Marco had asked a question. You mentioned well, I can't pronounce the word. I think it's a Spanish word.
Quinceañeras.
There you go. He said, wouldn't that be categorized along with weddings?
Well, it may be in another culture, but I wouldn't classify it as a wedding because I think a quinceañera is similar to the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah in a way that, they're stepping into it's a birthday party. It's a birthday party celebration type deal. So quinceañeras, they don't get married. So I wouldn't consider it a wedding. Okay.
And then Marco had another question here, which I think we addressed, but I don't know if you want to elaborate on it anymore. But he is asking, printing on site requires immediate processing, color correction. Hopefully you can cover some of this. I think we did, but I don't know if you want to elaborate on it anymore.
Definitely can elaborate on it. I personally disagree. I believe in, you can get it right in the camera, get your color balance. Get your white balance right. Get your exposure right. Make sure you're shooting at the proper shutter speed. Use your exposure triangle, man. Shutter speed, aperture, and ISO and along with the white balance to create a perfectly exposed image that's close to white balanced as possible. And then so I got some colleagues who use darkroom, and they be talking about monitor calibration, and I ain't got time for all that. I'm not going to invest in no software to calibrate my monitor. I just keep going until I get it right. Sometimes that means putting my white balance on Kelvin temperature, and I might have to warm it up or cool it down because the printer ain't printing exactly what I see on the screen. So you just do it until you get it right, till you got your own formula. And I promise you can take images straight out the camera to the printer all day long.
Awesome. And this one I also think we addressed, but I don't know if you want to elaborate on it as well. So Marco is asking, question for events: do you charge per hour or per printed image?
So yeah, we did address it early on when I got started. I was charging per printed image when we was doing sports action photography. But as I said, as time progressed, we were able to get away from the events where we pay per print to more all-inclusive packages and stuff like that. So I don't have the time to do the pay per print events, man. If I do, it's got to be some type of monumental, daggone 50th anniversary, 100th anniversary type of celebration where it's going to be 400 or 500 people there, everybody dressed up, like some type of inaugural banquet like we did for Upper Room Church of God in Christ in Raleigh when Bishop Wooden when pastor was elevated to bishop. They had this huge inaugural banquet where they brought Bishop C.E. Blake in from West Angeles Church of God in Christ in California, and people went crazy. They rented out the Raleigh Convention Center. Those are the type of monumental events where we would sell prints on site. Other than that, no, I don't have. I'd much rather be at home post production or editing or doing something than sitting at home or sitting on site twiddling my thumbs waiting to hope I sell some prints.
Great. So Marco is here on a roll, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Marco.
I know, right?
Thank you, Marco, for all the questions. So he had another question here, and I think we also addressed this one. I think we're on the same wavelength. Thank you, man. He's asking here, what's your workflow like from capture to culling and delivery?
All right, so with the on-site prints, as we talked about earlier, so literally I'm standing right here in front of this light. I have a tethered USB cable, 15-footer going from, which is about $40 or $50. Don't get the cheap ones because it does not work. Get the Canon brand daggone USB cable because it works. So I stand, take pictures. It shows up on their screen. When I feel like we got enough good images to go to the computer, pick out which ones that I'm about to print for them. That's when I start taking pictures. I go to the computer. I say, all right, I might give them one or two to choose from. They say that one. I say, boom. I give everybody a picture I gave everybody a print who's in the picture. So if it's 3 people, I print 3 images, have them come around to the right side, right by the printer behind the table, and give them their print. Literally, when I'm looking at the image in Darkroom Core, I have to press 1 for the print dialog screen. And then the next thing that I press is how many images. That is the workflow from the time they step on the red carpet into the time they walk away with 4x6 prints in their hand every 7 seconds.
How many, you mentioned for the unlimited, that unlimited package, like how many prints do you actually bring since it's unlimited?
So when I buy print supplies, the paper comes on a roll, and each roll has approximately 400 4x6 prints. Uh-huh. So I bring a box of media just so I won't run out. And the box come with 2 rolls of 400 prints in it. So I come with 800 prints, but I never use that much.
No, okay. And do you ever run out of ink on that print?
Yeah, so the DNP DS40s and the DS80s come with ribbon or toner. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the proper name is for it, but yes, so that's why generally when you run out of paper, you're supposed to replace the ribbon. That's what my colleagues do. But I be like, nah, I'm about to use all this paper or I'm about to use all this ribbon, right?
Yeah.
Ain't no throwing it away. But so yeah, I bring extra because something going to run out, whether it's the paper or the ribbon.
So, so James Paris Photography is asking, is Ken gonna be at WPPI?
So I think I know what WPPI is, but I'm really not sure. What is it?
Wedding photographers, something industry. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the first time I'm attending it, but it's a big conference for photographers. I mean, like thousands of photographers go there. I avoided for that very reason, but this year I am going. I am attending.
Yeah.
But I guess to answer your question there, James, no, he's not. He's not going.
And again, I'm gonna reiterate, James, that I'm not against any of these associations or anything. It's just I I it, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll go to some of this stuff, man. I'm not beyond it. I haven't arrived by any stretch of the imagination. I need all the continuing education I can get, man, on how to make my process even better. But sometimes, as a full-time entrepreneur, bro, sometimes I can't even afford to go to all these conferences and stuff, man. Like some
Real
of them be
talk.
like $1,000. I can't go. Yeah,
That's real talk right there.
exactly, man. I can't even afford to go. And all these associations, the great associations, I ain't even got the money to join, man. Like I make good money as a full-time entrepreneur, but just the way my money flow, I ain't got a few hundred, several hundred, or 1,000 to be a part of no organization.
Yeah, I hear that. So D-Mac is asking here, Ken, do you travel outside of the state?
Yes, sir. The software that I told y'all about, Darkroom Core, has a Yahoo group, and in that Yahoo group, it's like our little meeting place. We come together, we talk about issues we've been having. I was on site Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve in Clemens, North Carolina, and my printer had this weird error that I could not clear. I immediately got in the group. I did a video, guys, this is what's going on. Here, look, I did a video like, here, look, this is what's going on. I need help. It's like 6 people jumped on it like, hey, do this, do that. Did you do this? So it's a group of people who got this software, and we collaborate. In the collaborations and helping each other, some of them like, hey, I got a client in New Orleans, which happened to me February 2015. Somebody was like, hey, I got a client in New Orleans. Can somebody go, is somebody in the area? So, me, I'm Ken Branson, right? I'm a hustler. I do what I can. I'm like, let me look at the calendar. Yeah, we're going to be in the area that week. You know what I'm saying? I think we can make something happen. Literally, brother, I bought my 2015 Jeep on a Friday. Monday, I was driving to New Orleans with a green screen photo station. And I wish I would have had the picture, man. I need to start thinking about this stuff. But the green screen photo station was in my Jeep, heading 1,800 miles to New Orleans, driving, buddy.
Speaking of miles, that new car that you got, you said 2015. How many miles you put on that car so far, man?
Man, this is my 2015 Jeep Patriot. I bought it. It had 17 miles on it, my friend. This is the red carpet photo station in the back. I can fit my 3 kids in here, one in the front seat, one in the back seat, and my baby car seat can fit in here with my photo station. Right now, to date, I have 115,000 miles on my brand new Jeep, man.
Wow, that's some real work there, man.
So along with the New Orleans trip, man, came the 2 DC trips. So I've been to DC twice in my Jeep. Been in New Orleans once in my Jeep, New Orleans, and of course, everywhere in North Carolina, some Virginia gigs, DC, New Orleans, North Carolina, and I got my first Atlanta gig coming up this month, at the end of this month.
Congrats.
So I'm excited about it. Thank you, man.
You should hook up with Antoine. You know Antoine out there? Antoine?
Nah, man. No, I see this work though. Dude is pretty dope. Nah.
Yeah, you should hook up with him. He moved out there this year. So the next question here is James Parrish. He's like, question, on your LED lights, are you using iNova Pros?
So no, my LED lights are LED GO. I don't know if that's the name or how you say it or whatever, but LED GO, LED goes, however you want to say it. They cost me about $400 each. I think I have the matter of fact, they up right now. I got a little rim light up here and main light up front, but they're about $400. I think it's the model number is CSC 600 or something like that. So yeah, LED Geo is the brand of LED panel that I use for weddings, special events, and of course you've seen it at the photo station as well.
So Joe is asking here, how do you avoid flare from the rim lights?
That's a great question. Honestly, if you look real close at this picture right here, these two speed lights on the back are not pointing towards my camera at all. They're really pointing central of the, right down to the carpet. So it gives a good light to the a good backlight to the client. So I don't get it, honestly. And sometimes it creates a cool effect. Like, look at this shot right here. So if you can see, in order for me to get some type of lens flare, I have to be this far left of the whole photo station. But I use the young nose. These young nose, however you say it, external flashes, they don't spill light out like that. And I keep them on 50 millimeter too. I don't shoot on TTL on my speed lights. I put them on 50 millimeter, and I think, let me come back. The millimeter is like how narrow or how wide I think. I could be wrong.
No,
The
you're
light
right.
comes out.
You're right. 50 is definitely tighter.
Yeah. So that's why I don't get it.
So this is not a question, but I thought I'd read it because it's kind of funny. So James is saying, talking about when you were having your battery issues, he's saying you must shoot Sony.
No, so it really ain't a battery issue as much as it was my battery was dying and I need to charge it.
Yeah, it was just funny. So Marco is here again, asking the questions. So it seems that your setup is controlled, light, backdrop, etc. But do you always go around the event capturing images?
So at the photo station, obviously we're not going around. We're shooting tethered straight to the computer. We don't go around the event capturing images and obviously be tethered. But we do capture events as well. We somehow build it in, bundle it in. In case some of y'all are wondering, me and some of my colleagues, we charge about $125 an hour for event photography. We don't do all this editing, retouching, and color correcting. We get it right in the camera so that we can turn these events over a whole lot faster. So, for instance, for some clients, be like, hey, we want a photo station and we want a photo station and we want you to come cover the event as well. So we do a 3-hour block. In that 3-hour block, we'll set up the photo station at first, maybe like some kind of cocktail hour or something. We'll come in, capture the event. In this case, it's a church conference right here at Upper Room Church of God in Christ. And then we'll go back out to the red carpet and plug back up for the last hour or the last 30 minutes or so. And I'll probably add on an extra $100 or $200 for it, just as a comprehensive package to say, yeah, we will come shoot your photo station, give you instant prints on site, and we'll come and document your event as well.
Awesome. I just want to give a quick shout out to Mike. Mike, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you. So this is not a question, but I just wanted to point this out. Not point it out, but I wanted to read it because it was a great feedback. So Photo Me Ike is saying this guy is a hustler of the year.
Coming from that guy, yo, I checked you out on live a couple weeks ago, brother. I want to follow in your footsteps, man.
Yeah, Photo Me Ike is the dude. And James was saying, he said guns. No, I don't think it was guns. It's goons.
Yeah, goon squad.
Yeah. I think he's mob related because I think he keeps saying guns, but it's goons. It's goons.
Might be autocorrect.
Yeah, might be. So James is saying here. This is just another comment, not a question really, but James is saying he got the events on lock. I don't do events, but he made it easy. So that's awesome. And that's you're showing up some examples of your green screen. So that's awesome. So James is asking here, Ken. Oh no, we already addressed that. Let's see here. So I'm just reading through here, guys. Okay, here we go. Another question from Let me just read this comment really quick. I ain't got
Okay.
time for all that. I got to make that money. That's the quote of the day. I ain't got time.
I know that's right.
I ain't got time
I
for all
don't have
that.
it.
So James is saying, do you have a photo cover for the prints, and is your logo contact information on it?
All right. So here's a little short story about that. I used to have 4x6 portrait folders, which is about 30 to 40 cents each, where, when the print comes out, take it, stuff it in there. It's nice. It opens up. It can sit on the mantle, whatever. And I even went one time to have that stuff engraved, so my name will always be on it. I done did so many different things, man. I got tired of spending all of that money. And most people be like, man, that's free marketing. That's free. I'm like, nah, I would much rather spend my energy. Maya Angelou said it. No matter what you do, what you say, or whatever happens or whatever, nobody's going to remember that, but they always remember how you make them feel. That is my marketing strategy. I used to put business cards with every picture and every print, man. I done bought the plastic cellophane, polyurethane, whatever you want to call those sleeves they go in. Man, I done did all of that to give people these prints. And I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just about to make them feel like a Hollywood superstar on this red carpet, green screen, what have you. And they're going to remember it, and they're going to have this print. Now, if you see on this particular print right here, I used to even print the daggone my number and my name over here, Photo Station by Mastermind Productions, and my phone number. But I felt it was kind of a little invasive, man. Like, man, I don't want to be branding everywhere. So I just got rid of all that stuff, man. And I just give people the best experience I can on the red carpet, and I call it a day.
I hear that. So not a question, but I just want to read it as well. Willie Greenway is saying, great information this evening. So thank you, Ken, and thank you, Willie, for tuning in. Appreciate that. Thank you all for tuning in.
Absolutely.
And Wayne is in the house. What up, Wayne?
My man,
Wayne
yo, that dude
respect,
right
Ken.
there. Y'all got it popping, man. I be sitting back looking at y'all work, bro. Yo, my hat's off to y'all. Keep doing your thing, Goon Squad.
That's right. Now we're part of the Goon Squad, Wayne.
Man, you know it, brother.
So people are just saying the same thing here. Can be hustling for real. That's what's up. So Tanisha Walker is saying, this is such an informative interview. Can you show your mastermind grind in the manner you work, set up, flow, and share your gift? Continue to grind.
Wow.
That is awesome feedback.
Thanks, Superstar. It's one of the dopest makeup artists in the area, man. Check her out in God's Image, makeup artistry and photography.
Yeah. Just flowing through here to see if there's any more questions. So Marco is just saying, not a question, but just more a comment. I think Ken created a solid workflow, which has proved solid ROI. I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. So Ken, so I think that was the last bit of it. Let me see. But there's a lot of stuff that I skipped over, obviously, meaning there's a lot of feedback that you guys provided while we were having the conversation, while we were doing the interview. And so from what I could see here was a lot of positive feedback. I'm going to basically, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to basically, ask Ken if there's anything that he would like to talk about before we wrap it up. But if you guys have any questions in between that time, please drop them in there and, we'll address them. So Ken, tell us what you have going on, if anything you want to promote.
Yeah, so as we stated, last month I celebrated my 10th year in business, officially on paper. We are super excited about all the support we've received from, like I said, other colleagues and partners, and also clients as well. So to commemorate 10 years, man, January 19th, we are having a customer client appreciation dinner. And we just thrilled about it, man, to be able to bring some people in, some event vendors in, and have my people who have supported me over all these years come to the table, hear some music, get some food. it just feels good to be able to give back, man, just to let them know I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for y'all and all the support that you have given me over the last 10 years. We look forward to bringing you more for the next 10 years, man. We want to get better. I think about this thing like a 10-year-old child. My daughter just turned 11. So as a 10-year-old child or a 10-year-old business, man, we got a long way to go. And like I said, we look forward to giving you guys more. Y'all challenging us every freaking day, man. There is not a day that I put my feet on the floor where my anxiety level is up to here because somebody want to do something crazy. And I'm like, oh, why y'all call me to do it? You know what I mean? So we want to continue to give the people what they want. That's the motto that we live by. And hey, January 19th. Obviously, I can't invite everybody. Limited spaces, and like I said, I'm on a full-time entrepreneur budget. Y'all know how this thing works, so I can't feed everybody. But if you have played an intricate role in my success, you will receive an invite. If not, man, I celebrate you on the next one. Hopefully, we can do something a little bit more regularly to give back to those who have given to us.
Yeah, that is awesome. The fact that you're able to do something like that for your clients, that definitely showed that you sincerely appreciate all the assistance that they provided to you.
Yes, sir.
And you don't look at them as more like clients, more like family, So,
pretty much.
So that's I think that's pretty awesome. This is not a question. This is not a question, but this is more just reinstating the fact that you're kicking butt. So keep the saying here. Ken, are you related to Ryu because you're kicking ass?
From what game was that? Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Hey, we just give the people what they want, man. That's it.
So D-Mac is asking, is your printer a dye sub?
Yes, sir. It is a dye sublimation printer, man. That's why them things come out fast. They dry. A lot of people, when you give them the print, they be like trying not to. I'll be like, it's dry. Like, take it, put your hands on it. It's dry. So yes, it is a dye sublimation printer. You can get them from imagingspectrum.com. They are helpful. They ship fast. They ship same day if you get them, within the right time period. Right time of the day. So imagingspectrum.com. They ain't send me no check either for that, but they do good work.
That's what's up. So Ken, Marco is saying, can I believe that besides the workflow, you perceive to be a go-getter, a real make it happen guy with a really positive
charismatic.
Thank you, Ken. I don't know why I'm tongue twisting today. And more importantly, humble attitude.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Marco. That's the real key to success, mad support.
Yes, sir.
D-Mac is saying, ESP, hook him up on the flight costs. You gonna hook me up, D-Mac? You need to order that ticket.
What's ESP, man?
That's just short for Ernesto Photography.
Oh, I got you. Wow.
All right, so I'm gonna do my last plug here, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. So lastly, I just want to, let me just switch it here to myself here really quick so it could feel a little bit more personal. All right. So guys, once again, this show is just sponsored by me right now. And what I'm basically promoting or plugging right now is the event that we're having at WPPI. Now, the event that we're having at WPPI is not sponsored by WPPI. Myself and PhotoMe Ike is sponsoring this event. It's going to be a photo walk out in Las Vegas, and it's going to be February 27th. So if you guys are going to be at WPPI, please come out and join us on February 27th to do the photo walk and the photo shoot. We're going to be talking about how to do posing, how to work with your lights. We're going to show you guys how to, properly compose your images. We're going to talk about how to use your gear properly, and we're going to talk a lot more stuff. So come out, and plus, if you guys have tons of questions, obviously we'll answer all those questions as well. And we're going to have an amazing model there from Ike is going to be bringing one of his amazing models. Assuming we have enough turnout. So come on out, help us out, support the channel, support myself and Ike, and come out and we're going to have a really good time. We're also going to have a dinner after the fact. The dinner is not sponsored by us, though. It's sponsored by you. You're going to pay for your dinner. So come on out, support us, and, you know, let's have an awesome time on February 27th. All right, so I'm gonna flip it over one more time to Ken, and if you have any parting words for the people before I terminate the live feed, go.
Hey man, that's it. It was an awesome opportunity to be here, man. Y'all keep capturing memories, man. Capture them in a way that it'll make people give you their hard-earned dollars, and I promise you, you'll never be broke.
Okay. Thank you very much, man. I think you just put something in there. I just hit show. Make sure yeah. So awesome. So guys, if you haven't, let me switch it back to myself here. This is the problem with switching on your own, man. So hey guys, so if you got this far in this video, please go ahead and get that thumbs up button on this video. If it was, you know, helpful to you, if Ken gave you valuable information, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button on this video. When this video is no longer live, please put some comments on this video, even if it's to repeat the same comments that you just put in the chat. You know, it just helps with the algorithm on YouTube. So please put some comments there, hit the thumbs up button. And guys, if you got this far in the video and you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because on this channel, what you would see is not only great content like this, but you also will see behind the scenes photo shoot. We focus on posing, lighting, composition, and post-production. So you'll get all of that stuff on this channel. So I hope to see you guys on the next video. Until then, you know, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.